Okay, so thanks for being on tonight, you guys. We have a small crew so far. I'm guessing we'll get a few more to pop on. But truly, I feel like for a lot of people, these like in-person work sessions are super valuable. And the people that pop on, we have them kind of periodically, but the people that pop on usually just kind of take something different away than a normal team call. It's a little bit more of an intimate atmosphere, so please feel free to ask any question that is on your mind as we kind of talk through this launch. So I'm just basically, in case any of you missed my post in the team page from tonight, Jake got back from Minnesota. He was up there doing real estate this weekend and came back with strep throat. So he is kind of out for the count, but that's okay because I actually really needed to work tonight anyway, and so I think he's going to go to bed early, and it all works out. But tonight, instead of kind of doing a training, I just am going to share what my plan is kind of tomorrow, over the next 24 hours, over the next few weeks as we get ready to keep launching Transform 20 and launching Sweat Well Spent. So I'm just going to kind of talk through what my plan is and then really just open it up for questions for anyone that is still a little bit unsure or, just if you want clarification for anything. I am myself, I feel like there's so much information that I feel like I'm still, just working my way through all of the options and everything for Transform 20, but that's a little bit about what to expect tonight. Is just, I'll give a kind of an overview of where I'm at with the launch, a few things that I'm thinking about. Then I'll open it up to you guys, and really we'll just have kind of like an open work session, so you guys can feel free to do whatever you want to do. If you want to send invites, if you want to work on your free group. I personally am going to be working on creating my canned response to send out to people, and which I will definitely share with you guys once I get that done. But to kind of kick things off, just wanted to share kind of my thoughts right now as we are on the eve of Transform 20. So to give a little backstory in case, you guys weren't around last year, some of you. So every year Beachbody typically does like 2 big program launches. And what they found was that once they switched from, because they used to do all DVDs, right? So like every single time that a program would roll out, they would have to physically send something to the person that was going to do the program. Well, then a couple of years ago, they transferred over to, I'm just going to make sure I have everyone muted. I forgot to do that in the beginning. Hold on. Okay, so a couple years ago, they transferred to Beachbody On Demand, which meant that all the workouts were being streamed. So when a new program would launch, for example, the new program would be there, but it would just drop in, and they kind of found that launches were sort of flopping because it was just automatically rolled in, and people were kind of like, oh, I'll get around to it when I get around to it. There wasn't a lot of buy-in. There wasn't a lot of like excitement around new programs. And so they kind of went back to, and they kind of thought about the past and how in the past these product launches really had the opportunity for a coach to increase their volume quite a bit because, it wasn't just to existing customers, or it wasn't just to new customers, but it was also to existing customers who maybe wanted to purchase a new program. Not that they would purchase every new program, but it would give them a bigger opportunity. So they kind of thought back to what was working back then and how could we bring that into the new sort of system that we have with Beachbody On Demand. And that's how they rolled out the current process for launching out programs. So they tried to figure out, okay, what can we have that would be, a value add for people where they would be excited about a program, or it would be something that they would actually want to buy into instead of it just being sort of expected, right? And just like with Netflix, I never know when a new show pops in there. Like I might see it, but that was sort of how Beachbody On Demand was starting to feel. So anyway, that's when they came out with this whole idea of VIP early access. So as a Beachbody On Demand member, yes, all of the programs will eventually get into the library. However, if you want to try them early, that's where you can get the VIP early access. And so when they started to do this process, though, the whole launch period really became interesting because it wasn't only, like back in the day when they would have these DVDs that they would send out, they had to, it was sort of like a one-time launch. And so now they're sending out things sort of in stages. So the pre-launch phase, which we're in right now, is kind of quitting, I guess, a little bit or ending a little bit sooner because they want people to start buying these completion packs to get ready for the launch in the actual VIP early access in January. So all that to say, some of you might be wondering, like, gosh, it's only early December and they're not going to start this program till January. Why are they doing this? And it's really to give you guys a bigger opportunity and a longer opportunity to talk about it. And so the reason I share all of that is because I think that when we hear, okay, Transform 20 is launching tomorrow, we have this sort of like, oh my gosh, like I have to get everyone signed up tomorrow, and what if they don't? And it kind of creates this panic. I know I felt like that even over the last few weeks. But what I want you guys to remember is this is really sort of the starting point for you to start talking about this program. So in my mind, kind of where I'm at is I don't know when they're going to sell out of steps. That's like the one thing that does make me nervous because I really do not know, just because we've had, all the back orders with 80-Day Obsession. That's the one thing that, gosh, I wish they could, in my heart, I want everyone to buy their step from you guys, right? Because then you're going to get to have that commission as opposed to, let's say, if they buy it off of Amazon or Dick's Sporting Goods or whatever. But that's sort of the only wild card here that we're not sure about is how quickly will those sell out. With that said, what I really want us to focus on this week and tomorrow is getting the package ourselves. So first and foremost, the most important thing to me is that you guys are set up so that you actually have the step. Because if you have the step, let's say you order tomorrow, you get the step, you get your package in the mail, that gives you a huge opportunity then to start talking about it physically with the physical parts of the package in your house. So my plan is tomorrow I'll order, right? I'll order my package. When it comes in the mail, then I will do like an official unboxing and kind of show everything that's included in my package. I'll probably do that inside my free group. I'll probably do that even like publicly maybe, and kind of just give people an idea in my stories, things like that. And so I'll have that opportunity. I'm also this week going to focus on getting any existing customers that want to purchase to get them hooked in with their packages. So one thing that you guys are going to want to know as people are showing interest in this is that if their Beachbody On Demand subscription is going to expire in less than 3 months, even as a coach, it's going to make sense for you guys to cancel your BOD subscription and then re-enroll, and probably cancel your Shakeology, cancel your Performance, and re-enroll with a challenge pack, like with whatever challenge pack that includes Beachbody On Demand, because it's going to be at such a discounted rate as opposed to not doing it that way. So that's one thing to kind of keep in mind, and I'll share a quick video in the team page after this to show you guys how to check like where and when your BOD expires so that you can make sure to cancel if you need to. And then the other thing is just, so my plan tonight, kind of going back to what I'm going to do in the next 24 hours, obviously buy the package. I have not decided if I'm going to set my alarm for 3 a.m. Eastern, but I kind of want to, just to make sure I get my package. The packages go live at 12 Pacific, so 12 a.m. Pacific. So that's kind of when they're going to launch. And like I said, I'm really kind of clueless. These launches, you just never know. Stuff can sell right away. It could be a couple of weeks. I don't know. I just know I want to get my package. So I'm going to do that ASAP. After that is done, then, I'm going to try to help. Is there a fee? No, not if it's within that window. Yeah. So yeah, I'll post how you can go about canceling that. Super easy. So tonight I'm going to create a canned response basically for anyone that has inquired, or if they are an existing customer of mine, I'm going to send an email out to all my customers and just kind of give them a heads up about the launch that's starting tomorrow. So I'll create that email. When I have that done, I'll definitely share it with all of you so that you can, use it. Obviously tweak it to sound like you, take stuff out or add whatever you want to add, but hopefully that gives you kind of a starting point. There was something that a coach shared in the roundtable, which was really cool. And Beachbody is actually creating one of these. It's basically like this little tool that you can use to figure out which package is best for you and that you can send to your customers to figure out which package is best for them. I think that for all these launches, the most complicated thing is like figuring out all the packages. So I'll share that with you too, but I think that will be a really awesome tool. They're supposed to have that tool done, Kim said, like at the latest December 11th. So that should be really cool. Other than that, then after tomorrow, after I get that initial email going, again, my goal is really to get, our team signed up tomorrow, get you guys going, because I know that if you're set, you can start sharing and you can keep growing your businesses. Then to work on my customers. And then after that, I'm really going to kind of switch gears and start promoting Sweat Well Spent. So Sweat Well Spent is going to kick off on December 17th. For those of you who may not know exactly what that is, it's basically like we run this boot camp a couple times a year, and it's really popular, but it's basically a hybrid calendar that Jake and I create where we pull our favorite, most effective programs from Beachbody On Demand, and we couple that with running. So we'll do like a couple miles, a mile, or like sometimes it's a mile, sometimes it's 2 miles. Sometimes it's like, you'll do like a workout plus a couple other exercises. And then what we do is we're going to break everyone up into 2 teams again. So basically every time that you finish your workout, then you're going to be able to log a point for your team. And it's this really kind of fun competition. We run this as a whole team together in one group. It's super fun. So that is going to start on December 17th. But what I am telling everyone who purchases now until the end of the year is that, when you purchase your Transform 20 Challenge Pack, not only are you going to have access to Transform 20 in January, but you'll also be able to hop in Sweat Well Spent for December and finish out December with us there. So the timing is a little bit different than in the past. We've never done it over Christmas before, but I actually think it could be kind of fun. As a lot of us, Jake and I were talking, as a lot of us are like at home with family, it's just going to kind of create some fun conversations, hopefully, when they see you getting your workout in over Christmas too. So I'm going to be talking about that, and I'll have that in my canned response. So all of this will make more sense once it is actually in text. But basically the whole idea of like a 2-for-1 special, right? So they're going to purchase their Transform 20 Challenge Pack. With that, they're also going to get access to Sweat Well Spent. And then what we'll do is we'll use that same Facebook group, and we'll run our Transform 20 group inside of that Facebook group and kind of just keep people going in there. I have had the question, do you have to purchase Transform 20 to be in Sweat Well Spent? And I'll say that I'm encouraging it. However, if people aren't ready, we were just talking about this like a couple of days ago. If they're not ready, like I'm going to lead with that. But if they're like, I'm not quite sure, I'm still going to welcome them in because I want them to be exposed to everyone else in the group who is doing Transform 20. Because I really think that once they go through Sweat Well Spent and they start hearing us talk about Transform 20 and they know that we're all going to do it next, that it's going to kind of create this FOMO and momentum. So again, you're your own business owner. You can kind of decide what kind of stance you want to take, but just know that for Jake and I, we're encouraging it, using that as like an added value to get them in there, but not, requiring it if they're not quite ready either. All right, so that was a lot. I'll probably think of more, but what questions do you guys have right now? How are you feeling about the launch? I know it's hard when you haven't done a program. Once you get your stuff in the mail, it'll be super, super exciting. But yeah, I'll just open it up here for a minute.
I have one question for you. The biggest thing that I'm trying to work through in my head, Bridget and I have been talking about it, is just the best way to share the package options. Because like I loved all the graphics that Brittany shared, and obviously there's like in the back office there's some product toolkits and whatnot that gives the breakdown of, you know, the different package options and what's included, what's not, that kind of deal. But I'm just trying to figure out what's the most streamlined, easiest way to share with people without overwhelming them with like 14 different options. So I'm just curious what your strategy is or what your approach is.
Yeah, that's a really good question, and that's why this tool that they're creating will really help. Let me see if I can pull this up and share my screen with you guys so you can see what this one coach did. And I'm pretty sure I have to look at her link exactly. She was like, I'm not collecting information, so and people are like freaking out about it. So she's like, I think you guys can just like this coach, like I don't even know how she comes up with this stuff, but she's kind of a nerd when it comes to all these forms, but she's awesome. So I'm going to find this, but I'm pretty sure she said that we could all use the link, and she's not collecting names. Basically what this tool is a way for people to, she said, I made an interactive form when we did Lift 4, and it was super helpful with our customers in the sneak peeks to figure out exactly what package was best for them without looking at all the graphics. So then she said that, and I'll show you this in a second. She said, this isn't editable, etc., and isn't meant to be, since this isn't collecting info. It's just to help narrow down the choices and for them to know what to tell their coach that they want. When they choose a package, the form knows whether to offer Shaco options or Performance Line or both or none. Feel free to share as your own. So let me show you this. It's really cool, but I think we could I'll probably just use this in my email. So I'll show you what this is. You guys your mind's gonna be blown. We'll just go through one. Okay, can you guys see this? Okay. Yeah, can someone give me a heads? Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is, again, just a tool. This is not, this info is not being submitted. You'll see, like, you're not even putting your name in here. So, do you already have Beachbody On Demand? Yes. I'll just pretend I'm filling this out. And then it says, does your Beachbody renew within the next 3 months? I'll just click yes so we can see what that looks like. And then it goes through this. If your BOD is expiring soon, we recommend purchasing one of the packages. And then it goes into, you'll first need to cancel. Here's how to cancel. And then she goes into this, which is all the packages. So it shows the new Beachbody. This YouTube video is not hers. This is just from Beachbody. You'll see the heavily discounted packages that include Beachbody On Demand. And she goes into this breakdown. Then she talks about performance supplements, and she talks about the mega package and kind of goes into what that is. And she talks about the deluxe package. And she goes through all of these so people can kind of take a look in one swoop here. And then she just has them select, let's just say we want the deluxe challenge pack. And then it asks them their flavors. So pick your Shakeology option, pick your Recover flavor. So you're just kind of picking them here, I guess. There's nothing to click on here. And then recommended add-ons she even has. So 3-day refresh, beach bars, energize if it isn't already in your package, hydrate, 2B mindset, and then enrollment options as a customer, as a coach, all of that. And I'll send this link to you guys so you can do it. Please note, no need to push submit. Submit does not send any info to your coach, so be sure to send. So I don't know, you guys. I think that's like kind of genius. Oh shoot. Am I still with you? Can you hear me? Oh no, it says that I'm not in the meeting anymore.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you not see me?
I can see you.
Sorry, guys. Hold on. I'm coming. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm back. So isn't that cool? Yeah, I was like, what? Like, who are you and how did you create that? Like, you should see all the comments. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I'm like, she clearly just like spent a lot of time on that. So I'll post that to the group, and that way you can include that in your messages or in your emails or whatever. But I was like, I hadn't had a chance to look and make sure exactly what I did, but now that I just did that, I'm like, yeah, I think I'll just use that because it's way easy. It just makes it like so simple. All right, any other questions? Do you guys have any questions on the packages? Like, do you know which one you want to order? The one thing I was thinking we probably should just talk through briefly is that the price points are a little bit higher than normal, you'll notice, because of the step. And so it can be a little bit, like 214 is, I think, the lowest one. So it can be a little bit intimidating to look at that price. However, what people have to remember is, they don't have to buy weights or anything. So a lot of times with a workout program, you're also having to invest in weights or something like that. So that would be the one thing to kind of mention there. I just keep thinking about the person that is brand new to fitness. I think my head always goes to people that are already fit, but the people that are brand new to fitness, getting started, not having to pay for weights, all of that for that price is really pretty good. Oh, yeah. But it also means that your paychecks are going to be a lot higher because they're more expensive. So that's a bonus. I was telling Jake, like with 80-Day Obsession, I think the highest or the lowest cost was what, like 170 or 180 when it was on sale. I forget. So that's a big bump up.
Amber, I'd love your feedback because you've gone through the program. Like, how would you best? I mean, I know obviously Shaun T does a great job of explaining what it is, but he's the creator. So I'd love your feedback about, like, now that you've gone through it, how would you describe this program in like a sentence or two to people? Like, especially if you're kind of newer to fitness or newer to getting into like a wellness accountability community or like starting your postpartum journey. Like, obviously we all work with a variety of different people, so I'm just trying to figure out again, like, what's the best way to describe this program to people in a way that helps them understand like what it's going to be all about, besides what Shaun T is just saying.
Yeah. I mean, from my perspective, it's like, sorry, I said another question. So from my perspective, I feel like it's one of those programs that like, it's very cardio based, like, but there are different workouts. So like one day is like all speed, and one day is like a lot of, like a lot more jumping. One day is more balance. One day is more strength. And so but I would say it's like very fast paced. And like for me, I felt uncoordinated at first, So like one thing that I'm going to need to and I'm just going to put it out there to the universe when I start my group is like, I am not coordinated, but like once you get going on it, it was funny even seeing some of the coaches in the test group like took footage of them like falling over their step, the first couple days, and then like by the end you're like, this is actually awesome, and I'm really good at this. So I think even to document that process through it, but overall, I mean, as far as what type of workout it is, I would say definitely more cardio. The people that are like big into weightlifting, this is going to be very different, but they did add extra workouts that do have weights. So that's cool. But again, I think it kind of depends on your fitness level. And for me, it was one of those programs that like, I just had a lot of fun with it. Even though I felt stupid, it was just like a lot of fun. And it was mentally challenging for me because it was so different than Lift 4. And Lift 4 is my soulmate workout, and it's like what I'm very comfortable with. And so going to Transform 20, that's like, you're running all over and you're jumping and you're like doing all these things. It was like I couldn't really help but like just laugh at myself, because I was like, I'm so just like, this is fun. And so I think that's really the vibe that we have to kind of put off, is it's just like a fun way to get started. 20 minutes a day, lots of internal motivation too. I think that's what sets this program apart than like anything else, is just, even if you guys listen to the National Wake Up Call today, like that's why people love Shaun T, is he's just so inspirational. So he's in your head for those 20 minutes, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to even describe it. It's not like a normal step, like aerobic, go, like the guys will have fun with it. Jake's really still kind of nervous about it. He never did it with me because he was like, I'm not quite, he was like wanting to get through Lift 4 again, but he's going to do it this time. He's going to go all in. And so I'm excited for that. But I think just focusing on, hey, it's going to be fun. It's going to be like some fun, fast-paced cardio, but there are modifiers, only 20 minutes a day. And I think this would be a fun one too, to do like virtually together, like if you had your screens on, because you couldn't help but just like, again, just kind of laugh at like how, especially in the first couple weeks, just how fun it is to figure it out together. Oh, his book. Yeah. His book is good. That's a good idea, Erin. Did I see, were you posting that you were listening to it? Someone posted on stories that they were listening to it. I forget what that was. That was Bridget. Okay.
Yeah, it's so good. I don't know if any of you guys know his story, but he holds nothing back in the book. It's really deep. But then he like really digs hard into your mindset, which like, I mean, I personally really need that right now. I just think it's a fun spin to add to the value of this overall program, because he talks so much about conquering your mind in order to like just, make progress at all in every aspect of life. So it's just a really interesting parallel, just something to think about maybe for a Christmas gift for yourself.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. Like it's intense. It's really good.
I like that idea to pair it with something that we're doing now. Let me look at these questions here. So someone is asking, newer coach asking, how does it affect us as coaches when we cancel our BOD in order to get one of the packages? So it really doesn't affect you negatively at all. Basically, you'll just cancel it, and then as long as you like enroll that day, it won't affect really anything, because you'll be reordering with the challenge pack, and you'll have your 50 PV, so you'll be active again. But it will see, and this is new for coaches. We never used to be able to purchase challenge packs, so now that we can purchase challenge packs again, it's kind of exciting. Okay. Sorry, I gotta catch up on these. Okay, Megan's asking, would you say it's for beginners? Also, just because I'm curious, did you sweat a lot? That's a good question. Yeah, so I would definitely say it can be for beginners. In the test group, we had all body types, like every single body type you can imagine. And there's great modifiers. And so, in my opinion, I think this is the best program for a beginner because it is only 20 minutes, because they can do 20 minutes. And so I think, like, for me, that's really who I'm going to try to speak to, is the person who does not currently have a workout routine. Obviously, my lifers will all do it too, but this is just that program, in my opinion, to get a whole different market of people that never thought working out was even possible before. So I would, for me, definitely say it's for beginners. And yes, you sweat a ton. It's a little hard for me to know exactly how much you sweat because I did a lot of them outside in the fall here, and it was like really hot outside. But everyone that did it inside too was just, I mean, you sweat. I can't even believe how much you can sweat in 20 minutes. Like it's because you don't stop. Like you literally go the whole 20 minutes, and so you break up a really good sweat. Anyone has some good quick wording for invites? Kara is asking if you have some invites that you've been using, post them in the chat. Taylor is asking, how essential would you say the step is? I've watched a few other coaches do the workout and share how it's a great workout without a step. Or if you have potential people ask the question, how would you respond? Yeah. I mean, that's a good question. I guess you could probably do it without a step, and I think beginners they could definitely do it without a step. But for all you guys who are already working out, I think you'll really want to have that step. Like, I don't think you'll get a good enough workout in unless you have the step. Like, this thing about this program is it worked my legs so much, which I was actually really excited about because I felt like after Lift 4, I wish that I had worked my legs a little bit more in that program. And so in Transform 20, you get a lot of leg workout. So what's cool about this step, I do have it right here still, is that it comes with these like things where you can take them off and make them different heights. So like you can start with it like at the ground level like this, and then like a lot of us started there. Actually, no, I thought I was gonna like kill this program, and I started with all the steps. I was like, I can do this with all the steps, and I definitely had to take one of the levels off because it was way too hard to start with that. So then eventually I worked my way back to the whole thing. But that's the cool part about this step is that you can, just make it different levels, make it work for you. But I would definitely say that you'll want the step, and you'll want to encourage people to get the step. Yeah, Brittany, I was just going to say that too. People that already have their own step, okay, I'll be honest, it will work. It will work just fine if they already have a step, it will work. However, I did do some of the workouts at our little fitness gym with like the regular bigger step that you would see in group fitness classes. And it was harder to do the workouts because the step was not designed for that size. So this is considered like a mini step, whereas like the typical steps they're longer and they're also a little bit wider. So that's something to be mindful of as people ask you. Again, it's possible to do it, but this one is what I would definitely recommend. Doing it while pregnant. We did have some people in the test group that did this program while they were pregnant. So obviously, like everything, we always want to tell them to ask their doctor or get it cleared. But again, with all the modifications, I think you could definitely do this when you're pregnant. I will say, too, for those of you who are as obsessed with Lift 4 as I am, I have started to do sort of a hybrid. So just something to think about once you're maybe done with your first round or whatever. It's actually worked pretty well to do Lift 4 with Transform 20. I obviously don't do all the workouts with all the Transform 20 workouts. There is like a balance day that's a little bit slower, so I don't do that one. But it's been great, and I really am enjoying that. So thought I would just pop that in there too. And for those of you who are runners in the winter, where it's cold, I know like when we lived in Minnesota, it was kind of hard to get out and run. I think this could be a great program also for runners that aren't getting their mileage in the winter time because it's just such great cardio. Anything else? All right, well, I am going to mute myself and work a little bit. I'll just leave this open so you guys can get some stuff done too. If you have any questions, either unmute yourself or type it in the chat. But I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this program. And Sweat Well Spent is going to be so fun. Like, I literally need Sweat Well Spent right now. I feel like I just need that, something different, to kind of end the year together. We typically get a lot of coach signups after Sweat Well Spent, just an FYI. Like, it's one of those programs that people, they love the community, they love what we do. So, so definitely invite to that for sure. I just shared the link to that form so you guys can take a peek at it yourself. I also just thought of this. I forgot to mention this before, but you know how I usually create a video that I include in my canned response, my email that I send. I'm planning to wait to do that until I have my package here so that I can create it with the stuff and actually show people like what's all included in the package. So I'll make my canned response now, and then I'll add in that video next week whenever I get my stuff.
Amber, quick question for you. Do you know if you cancel your BOD membership and then re-enroll with it with a challenge pack, like, for example, will I lose access to 2B Mindset and stuff like that I've already purchased within this account that is automatically renewing? Do you have any idea if any of that matters?
I don't think it does. I think as long as it's associated with the same email and username and all of that, that the nutrition side is like separate. And so that's like a one-time purchase. Whereas, yeah, that one lasts for life. Whereas BOD is the subscription. So,
Okay.
no, I wouldn't think that would affect. That's a good question. We'll probably get that. So it's good to think about.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. That reminds me though, this morning Sean talked about this, but just a reminder that nutrition wise, you can really choose whichever sort of nutrition program you want. And a lot of people are doing the 2B Mindset with it. And so, you know, especially when you think about beginners, that might be a good thing to suggest to them. I know they get a $20 discount if they purchase it with their package. So it's still an investment, but, you know, it might be worth at least just mentioning in case they want to take a peek at what that's all about too.